Hello. So far we have talked about how to detect edges, but I had been limited to images that are one-dimensional. That is, images in the form of a vector. Now the question is how to do that, how to detect edges for 2D images. Well, 2D images are actually three-dimensional functions. And for three-dimensional functions, we do not calculate the derivatives, we rather calculate the gradient. So the gradient of a three-dimensional function, in our case the gradient of an image, is denoted as gradient of the image at a given point x and y. So this is given by the vector that has two elements. The first is gx and the second is gy. Now gx equal to the partial derivative of the image at the point xy in the x direction. Similarly for gy, it is the partial derivative of the image at the point xy in the y direction. Now it is known from vector analysis that this vector points to the direction where the rate of change is the highest. So that is, it would point to the direction where the edge is the steepest, right? Where the slope is the highest. Remember the slope I talked about in the previous video? Well, this gradient vector will point in the direction where the edge is the sharpest. Right. So we have now to find out the magnitude of that vector, and this is done easily by calculating the square root of gx squared plus gy squared. So this is the magnitude of the gradient at x and y. Now, to find out the direction of this vector, we have to calculate the angle theta. So the angle is given by arc tan of gy divided by gx. So this is the direction, this gives me the direction of the gradient vector. Now, if I have, for example, an image that has the x-axis in this direction and the y-axis in this direction, and they have a gradient of magnitude of 1 and an angle of 45 degrees, then I would have a vector like this one. So we start computing the 45 degrees from the x-axis toward the clockwise direction. So here I would have 45 degrees and the magnitude of this vector is 1. Now, another important thing about the angle of the gradient is that it is perpendicular to the edge. For example, if I have an image of an edge, an ideal edge like this one, so here I have the black color and here I have the white color, so here I would have zeros and here I would have ones, assuming of course that one is the highest possible value that a pixel can take. So in this case, the direction of the gradient would be perpendicular to the edge. So in this way, by calculating the gradient of the image, we can detect all the edges in it.